Today, we are diving deep into a really high-stakes geopolitical standoff playing out in the Strait of Hormuz. It's become a classic game of chicken, but this one has absolutely massive consequences for the entire global economy.
It's just wild how fast things can go south. Just when it looked like a fragile peace might actually hold, the whole situation just imploded. We went from President Trump announcing an extended ceasefire with Iran to a full-blown crisis in the waterway in less than 24 hours. Okay, so how on earth did we get here so fast? Let's walk through the specific events that really ignited this whole flashpoint. Just look at how quickly this all unfolded. Tuesday night, we're hearing about a ceasefire. Great news, right? Well, by Wednesday morning, Iran is already making accusations. And then, bam, that same afternoon, its Revolutionary Guard is out there actively seizing ships. The switch from diplomacy to direct action was just dizzyingly fast. And get this wasn't some covert op happening in the shadows. No, Iran's own state news agency put out the video of the seizure for everyone to see. This was a very clear, very deliberate message being sent to the United States and really to the rest of the world. So to really understand why Iran would do something so bold, we've got to look at the other side of the coin, the American strategy that pushed them to this point. The U.S. is playing its own high-stakes economic game, one they call maximum pressure. So what does that actually look like on the ground? Well, the U.S. is keeping up a naval blockade of Iranian ports. And the goal here is pretty simple: inflict so much economic pain that Iran has no choice but to come to the negotiating table and give in. The thinking in the White House seems to be that Iran is in a really weak spot, and this kind of pressure will eventually work. And this quote from the press secretary perfectly captures that confidence. They really do see this blockade as a winning hand. They believe they hold all the cards, and that it's just a matter of time before Iran has to fold. But here's the thing: Iran isn't folding, not at all. Instead, it's hitting back with a powerful counter-move of its own, basically turning the Strait of Hormuz itself into a weapon. Iran's strategy is pretty much a mirror image of America's. It's like they're saying, oh, you're going to squeeze our ports? Fine. We're going to squeeze the world's most vital oil artery. The goal is to disrupt shipping and create enough chaos in energy markets to put the pressure right back on President Trump to lift his blockade. And this lays out the core conflict perfectly. It has become a duel of economic pain. The U.S. is applying direct pressure on Iran's economy, and in response, Iran is applying indirect pressure on the global economy, hoping all that blowback will eventually hit the U.S. It's really just a test of who can withstand the pain longer. And the costs of this standoff are, well, they're already staggering. We're seeing ripple effects that go far, far beyond the strait itself. Okay, get a load of this number. Right now, there are up to 2,000 vessels just stuck in the Persian Gulf. Think about that for a second. 2,000 ships loaded with everything from oil to everyday goods, just trapped in this geopolitical stalemate. And for Iran, the financial bleeding is immense. Estimates suggest the country is losing about $435 million every single day. That's because it can't export its oil or import essential goods. So yeah, that U.S. blockade is having a truly devastating effect. And as you can see here, pretty much no one is immune. Iran is facing economic ruin and the very real risk of domestic unrest. Meanwhile, in the U.S., we're seeing signs of what's being called internal dysfunction, with high-level military officials actually leaving their posts. And of course, the entire global economy is grappling with messed up shipping and chaotic energy markets. It's just uncertainty all around. Which, of course, brings us right back to that central question. You have both sides under an incredible amount of pressure, and both are betting that the other side is going to be the one to break. With stakes this high for everyone involved, who is going to blink first? Unfortunately, when you start looking for a way out of this mess, the path to a diplomatic solution looks just as tight and constricted as the waterway itself. There was a glimmer of hope. Peace talks were supposed to happen this week in Pakistan, but then the U.S. envoy just never showed up. Now, Pakistan is reportedly trying to mediate behind the scenes, but the feeling is that the space for any kind of deal is shrinking by the hour. And that's really what this has all come down to, a race against the clock. Both the United States and Iran are essentially trying to outlast each other. Each is absolutely convinced that the economic and political pressure they're applying is going to be what finally forces the other side to give in first. But you have to realize, for Iran, the pressure is uniquely intense. They aren't just facing an external enemy in the United States. They're also dealing with a ticking time bomb at home. If this blockade prevents them from paying subsidies and providing basic goods to their people, they could easily be facing another huge wave of domestic unrest. So this war on two fronts that Tehran is fighting has made the whole conflict incredibly unpredictable for everyone. And it leaves us with one final and very urgent question. In a crisis that's spiraling this quickly, is there still a viable path back to peace?